This in my hands is Apple's newest iPhone, the iPhone 16e. It's got the same powerful A18 chip as the flagship iPhone 16, impressive battery life, and Apple's latest AI features, all at a much lower price. Sounds like a great deal, right? Well, not so fast, because Apple made some interesting choices with this phone. Some are great and some are, let's just say, questionable. So, who is the iPhone 16e really for, and is it worth your money? Let's break it all down for you right now, here on MQuan Reviews. This is the box that you can expect to get your iPhone 16e in. It looks very similar to the standard iPhone 16 box. I'll show you what's inside. And this is a case, very interesting. This is as colorful as it's gonna get. There's really not much inside here. You get the actual phone itself, which, yes, it comes in this beautiful black color or a white option. And then apart from that, you get basically a USB-C braided cable with the SIM ejector tool and some paperwork, which, yeah, there are no Apple stickers inside, unfortunately. Oh, look at that. Before I talk specs, design, my overall hands-on experience, because I have had an earlier look at this than the official release, let's talk about why even the iPhone 16e. Well, over the last couple of years, Apple have released a more budget-focused version of the iPhone, and it's been incredibly popular. So much so that this year, when rumors about this update to the iPhone SE were around, a lot of customers were very excited, because not everybody wants the bells and whistles of the current iPhone or the current Pro model of the iPhone, and that's where the SE has traditionally filled a gap. But this phone, the 16e, in some ways similar to the iPhone SE, but in other ways fundamentally different. And I'll talk about some of the reasons why I think Apple have made this move later on in the video. But for now, the design is very similar. You still get that single camera on the top and overall a clean, more minimalistic look and design for the iPhone 16e model. I feel like the design on this is a mix between an iPhone 14 and the current iPhone 16 design, in the sense that it's clean, it's minimalistic, it's slightly industrial. You have an aluminum frame and you have IP68 water resistance. On the front, you have ceramic shield glass, and you have this beautiful 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. It's the same size as an iPhone 16, great colors and brightness. And by the way, if you like these wallpapers, yeah, you can download them from the link down below. There's plenty of wallpapers to choose from. Also 60 Hz, so there's no ProMotion, and I don't know, it feels slightly outdated when compared with other Android smartphones for a similar price point. Let me know what you think. Not everybody is annoyed by that or irked by that, but what do you think? Leave your comments down below. But overall, really nice build quality to this. The other thing on the side here, you'll notice that you have the action button, and I've programmed my action button to work with visual intelligence. You can actually customize this. There is no camera control, however, unlike the rest of the iPhone 16 model. Available only in two colors, black and white, so the only way to add some pop of color is with the case. At the bottom, you have USB-C charging, and this was charged 20 watt with a fast charge, so it's pretty decent, 50% in about 30 to 40 minutes in my testing. But this is where things get really strange. There's no MagSafe support. So MagSafe, if you are new to iPhone, is a great way of adding accessories, things like this MagSafe wallet here, or a stand. It doesn't work with the iPhone 16e, because all this stuff would work with the standard iPhone. For some reason, Apple have decided not to include this in the iPhone 16e. And also for wireless charging, this does support wireless charging, but it's limited to Qi charging, which is I think 7.5 watt. With MagSafe, yeah, the lack of that rather, it doesn't do that. And this is really odd for me, because at this price point, I'm sure they're doing this to try and keep costs down for consumers, the overall cost. But like, MagSafe we've had for a while now on iPhone models. Why isn't it on this iPhone 16e? So the iPhone 16e packs a 48 megapixel main camera, and honestly, I think you're getting sharp detailed shots, and that's thanks to Apple's Fusion sensor processing and the ability to shoot at 2x lossless zoom, which effectively kind of gives you two focal lengths. But in good lighting, the images are crisp, they're vibrant, well balanced, just like the standard iPhone 16. You've got skin tones that look natural, there's dynamic range, and Apple's color science is still one of the best. Low light performance is a big step up from the older SE models, thanks to night mode and the photonic engine, but it's not quite at the level of the Pro models. However, there are some limitations. Unlike the iPhone 16, there's no ultra-wide camera, and I use that a lot. So you're missing that wider perspective for landscape shots or group photos. There's also no cinematic mode, no action mode. So while the video is still high quality at 4K 60 frames, you don't get those extra filmmaking tools. So here's an example of the video quality on the iPhone 16e. I really like this. It's 4K up to 60 frames per second, but I'm currently filming 4K 30 frames per second. I'm moving around, so it also gives you an idea of stabilization. I mean, iPhones are really, really good when it comes to video quality, and with the iPhone 16e, I think Apple have done a really, really good job. If I zoom in, that's at 2x, and I'm able to go all the way into 6x. Let's just move it back out. The only thing that I miss from this, and I film a lot using the ultra wide, is the lack of ultra wide. Things get interesting with the iPhone 16e when it comes to performance. Inside here, we get the A18 chip. This is the same chip that you'll find in the flagship iPhone 16, but with one less GPU core, but essentially a flagship chip in this device. Now, we've seen Apple do this. They put the latest and greatest current flagship chip into this form factor. What that means is if you're planning on buying this to use for a number of years with iOS updates, you'll be happy to know that that will deal with that. You won't notice any major lag. What's even better is the fact that you can use that chip currently with the benefits of Apple Intelligence. So things like Image Playground, a whole range of other elements that make up part of Apple Intelligence will run on this form factor, this iPhone 16e. But it has one thing which even the iPhone 16 and the 16 Pro models do not have, and that's this new C1 modem inside here. This is proprietary. That means it's made by Apple specifically for the iPhone. The benefits of this are two. One of the biggest drain on the battery of any smartphone is the modem. This is for data and data consumption. The C1 modem is incredible when it comes to battery efficiency. I've been testing this out, trying to run it down on the battery level. It's held up really, really well. And I think a big part of that is to do with the better performance of battery thanks to that C1 modem. The other way that it helps is that if you're in crowded areas with a lot of people using their iPhones, the C1 modem is designed to be more efficient in those scenarios. So it has in here the C1 modem that even the iPhone 16 or the 16 Pro model currently do not have. So we're at the all-important point of who exactly is this iPhone for and what were Apple thinking? Well, look, I think this iPhone, if you're coming from an older SE, is a harder justification because it's gone up a whole $100 in price. The iPhone SE has always been for the customer who was clear they wanted to buy an iPhone or try the iPhone experience without breaking the bank, on a budget basically. But the iPhone 16e kind of switches that up a little because the price increase for one, but what it has to offer at that price point now doesn't necessarily seem to me to be appealing to that budget, seriously budget conscious customer. I think it's still relatively good value if you think about it. If you want a current iPhone, put it this way, if you know you want a current iPhone and you want great battery life, which is I think one of the standout features of this with that C1 modem, but great battery life, okay? And you know you don't need the dual camera, you don't need the MagSafe accessories, then the iPhone 16e is one of those devices that those people will consider. But at the same time, for me as a customer, I might look at the iPhone 16e and think, shall I up my budget a bit more so that I can consider an older iPhone or even an iPhone 16? Like, I don't know, that's where I'm confused about this. It is, don't get me wrong, a very capable phone. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and follow me for more news on Apple, AI, tech, and lifestyle. I'm M. Kwan, check out this other video here. See you in the next one. Peace and blessings.